In the stream, I am Books Nelson with the At Me Bro Show, and we're doing a deep dive on Boogie DeMarcus Cousins, and I'm going to tell you guys right away, this guy's pretty good. We're going to look at his stats real quick, get through this real fast. So he has a 97 three-pointer, beating out Vlade's 94. He has a 94 midi. Driving dunks at 89, standing dunk is at 99, which is tremendous. Draw foul is 97, which is also great. That 87 ball handle is boosted by a shoot. You don't have to do that to get him the speed boost. Just run him with anybody with floor general. You should be fine. Let's see his post hook, post fade, all of that looking great. Defensive rebound at 99, literally elite. Can't get any better than that. The only thing he's really not elite at is his height. That would be the first thing. His block is only a 72. That's not great, although he does have an 84 shot contest, which is very good. Steal rating's not great. He's 6'11", so he's not going to have like the arms to be great at steals in the passing lanes. So I would say, and he's a 79 lateral quickness, but he's a 92 speed. So I think this card is a legitimate power forward in this game. The only thing I don't like about him in that position is the lateral quickness, but I do think he can play the 4. Especially depending on who they're playing against. If people are running cones at the 4, or if they're running slower people, bigger people at the 4, this card could really match up very well overall. Even some of the, the point forwards and the point centers and stuff like that, they have big hit boxes, so it's harder for them to avoid clamps from a character like this. And let's see about those defensive badges. So he's got box, brick wall, intimidator, moving truck, pogo, all of that stuff, Hall of Fame, and then clamps is gold, and worm is also gold. That's interesting because Boogie's a really good rebounder. So he's got tight handles, and let's see, Hall of Fame quick first step, which is great. And this card, I can tell you guys right off the bat, moves a lot better than Vlade does. He just has that movement. He definitely moves more like a 4 than a 5. Although at 6'11", he can play the 5. It's not like he can't play it. It's just, depending on who they're playing, you might have to switch up and go for somebody a little bigger if they're coming in with a taco fall and just scoring every time. And here we see Hall of Fame quick draw range extender, a bunch of really great Hall of Fame shooting badges. Pretty much has everything he needs. Although, funny enough, deep fades is only on gold. Although, that's still really good. And then you see there he's got the back down punisher, all that stuff. No slithery finisher to speak of. All right. So we see his weaknesses. Defensively, he's just got a few things he's missing out on. Low block, low wingspan, which is, a lot of people are like, why isn't this character good defensively? And I don't even know if I would say Boogie has a low wingspan. He just doesn't have a high wingspan. He doesn't have that Dino Roger thing going on. He doesn't look like he has T-Rex arms, but they don't look particularly long either. In fact, before we get to the full breakdown, let's go ahead and, do I have Dino? I do have Dino. Excellent. So we're going to look at his arms right now, because people don't look at wingspan as a statistic, but it absolutely is one of the most important things that you can find in a card. All right, and you can see here, unfortunately, that camera zooms in a little bit, but that's okay. So we're going to see here, you're going to visibly see those arms grow and shrink as we switch from Dino to DeMarcus. It's just a matter of how bad is it? How much is it? All right. Oh, it's a lot. It's a lot. Look at his the off-ball arm. You see their heads aren't moving. It's the same exact head height. But look at that extendo range. Now, Dino has crazy arms, but you can see just how much. Like, see, that's like literally maybe, that's a good 2 inches, maybe 3. That's why Dino's he plays like a 7-1 card. And this DeMarcus Cousins is going to play like a 6'11 at best. He's not going to play above his height, most likely. As you can see, I'm just doing it back and forth so you guys can get a good look at those arms just kind of shrink and grow. I know in his shooting arm, he's like extending it for a second, but look at the off-ball arm, which is stationary. You see it? I mean, it's just completely go-go gadget arms. We know Dino is absolutely crazy in that regard. Like you see, his arms are like as long as his entire body. But it's just worth noting that Cousins, his arms are not that long. So, but at the power forward position, he's not going to have any issues with that, right? So I'm not saying to prefer to run him at power forward. I'm just saying that he can, and I think he might have a lot of use at that position, especially depending on how you're matching up. All right, so let's get right into it. So you guys will notice I have no meter on, and it's because with the meter on, I found that his shot, for me, was a little funky, but with the meter off, he's fantastic. So you see he has this hitch in his jump, and it's basically like a little millisecond after the hitch is when you release the ball. And I found doing that, I was able to get a hold of it and get a lot of greens with his shot. It didn't feel like Vlade's, which was really hard to find. It's more like his is a relatively small green window, but it's a reliable green window, right? And he can, of course, peek off of it, and that's his peekaboo shot. So he's looking good on the shot release. I wouldn't say he has an elite release, but he does have elite shooting badges, and he also has the we'll look here, the hot zones to back him up. So he's a very good shooter. I wouldn't say he's an elite shooter at the center, but he's a very, very good shooter at the center. Very, very good. And I think people who get used to his shot are going to do very well with his shot. Because when I'm in that green window with him, I don't get a lot of like full whites. It's more a user thing, right? It's not an easy shot to use, but I do think once you get it, you're fine. So the shots I want to focus on before we go into his dribbles. So let's see. So you got his leaner, right? So that's his leaner there. That should be easy enough to green. Nice straight up and down leaner going both ways. It's a little late there. Try and green one before we move on. Forget that noise. All right, so and then of course we already did the peekaboo, and I also want to focus on this shot, which I've been focusing on a lot more lately. Really, really great for centers because people like to play off the center and kind of like wait for you to do stuff, sag off in the paint, and you pull up with that shot and good money. And guys, if you're having trouble with some of these spotlights, and you have a shooting center that can speed boost, that's also a really good move for those guys as well. So that again, that's a really good shot for him. Really strong overall. See there, and you can green it over and over and over. I've only been shooting with this card for like 1 minute, and I know what the green window is. I just have no practice at hitting it, but I'm letting you guys know, as opposed to Vlade Divac, which I said the jury was out on that shot because I couldn't get a hold of that green window really. I got a hold of Boogie's green window. I do think it takes more practice than some of the other cards in the game, but you should be good to go once you get it. Okay, so here we go. He has an elite between the legs and a... Now, last time I said solid behind the back for Vlade Divac, and I think it was 23, he was like, his behind the back is trash. It is a pretty bad behind the back, but I'm looking at these guys as centers, and when I say solid, I mean there are some behind the backs that literally stop you and like you can't move. That is tied to your ball handle rating and speed rating overall. I found with Vlade, it was not good, but it was a thing where in the half court, it was like somewhat usable. So you see Boogie's, it's pretty slow, but it's also kind of like a little glitchy with it too. We'll try and repeat it up court a couple of times. You see? So it's slow, but it's a little glitchy. Not great, but, you know, it's fine. And we see here in the half court. But you see in the half court, it's a little better in the half court. Right? Coming out of that half spin, it's actually kind of solid. We'll see it. Oh, no. Boogie's got a wardrobe malfunction. See it in the... And you see there, the way it kind of lets him glide in the half court is pretty solid. All right. That's going to drive me nuts. So let's get rid of that. There we go. Okay, so that's his. That's all of that stuff. Let's look at his hesitation into his crossover. So this is left stick, looking really good on that. Nice and glitchy. I would say that's a second tier version of that, but you know, second tier being high tier. Okay, and that's the regular crossover. Well, that was between the legs. Let's see if we can get a regular crossover to go here. There we go. Oh wow, he has a really nice hezzy crossover with the right stick. So that was in order, left stick crossover between the legs and right stick crossover, looking good. All right, let's check that in and out. Whoa, 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 what in the skip to my loo did he just do? Let's try that again. I don't know if you guys saw that, but he like, okay, there we go. Yeah, he didn't do it properly the first time. That's a really nice in and out, especially for a big. Okay, so we're gonna get into his half court dribbles while I pull up the chat. Okay, so first things first, he actually has a really quick, nice momentum dribble for a big guy. Like he legitimately, he like boogies out, like pun intended. You know, he definitely shakes it up out there. Like he does the momentum like he's trying to break you off and get past you. So I appreciate that a lot about Boogie right off the bat. He also has an elite shooter step back too. So you see that right there. He's got the zigzag, hippity hop, misdirection, whatever you want to call it. You know, out of any speed boost dribble, he's got that nice little hippity hop. And with that Hall of Fame quick first step, you can see the difference between him and Vlade. I mean, he's faster than Vlade overall, but with that Hall of Fame quick first step, out of the these stop moves into the step back, he really wants to launch out of that step back really well. And I mean, for this guy, that's an S-class step back. It creates a ton of space. There's no major lag before you do it. It works well out of combos of all kinds. It did a little lag out of the combo, not out of the regular dribbling combo. If you do the left stick, you know, not left stick. If you do the left trigger hesitation, where you stop moving, that right there, pretty good out of that. Not a major pause out of that right there. You know, combo it up. But out of his regular dribbles, it's a little bit of a A little bit of a lag out of regular dribbles, looking really, really good out of the snatchback though. Really nice out of the snatchback. So his shooters behind the back is also really nice, right? That right there, gorgeous, gorgeous. And he has a really nice size up for a big guy too. So we look here, this is his between the legs dribble. And he explodes out of this real nice. Like if you do this with the right timing, let me see. I wanted to do a size up first. There we go. And he moves right out of that, like right out of that size up. He wants to get out of there quick. Again, that high ball handle rating mixed with that Hall of Fame quick first step, you can definitely feel it with Boogie. I do think Boogie, even though, again, he doesn't have handles for days, so you can't go all day, but some of these are low stamina moves as well. You know, like even that. Just this right here, and then you kind of launch out of it, or, you know, you step back out of it. Not great off the step back, but that little hezzy that he's got going on, not terrible. I would definitely recommend shooting out of that. You're not going to want to dribble out of that. But yeah, that he's got that nice kind of Steph Curry. Just checking out some of the stuff he's got. Yeah, he's got some wiggles to him. He definitely has some wiggles to him. All right, so we're going to move around here, just get a little couple of combos. I just want to see, you know, just generally how he moves around the court. Show you guys some of that stuff. And he's a big, so he's not going to have the pro hezzy. You know, he doesn't have the pro hezzy. He's got that kind of long hesitation. Which the plus of that is you can shoot out of it, but you see there he does a leaner. So I wouldn't mess with his hesitation too much because he's got like a double hezzy, and you don't really cancel out of that great. If you guys have a use for this hezzy, let me know. I personally don't love it. I just want to show you guys that it sucks. You see there his momentum behind the back is actually pretty solid. Again, for a big guy, he moves really well. I tried to hop dunk from too far out. All right, so yeah, I think this card moves really well. I could definitely tell you if I had to choose between him and Vlade, I would personally choose him. Even though the defensive issue is there, I like the fact that I feel like I could trust him at the 4 and gives me some options. And if they go small, then he's not small, but if they play normal bigs, 7-1 or under, then he should be fine playing the center position. He's going to rebound. The wingspan is a little bit of a concern, but if they're going big, he can still play at the 4. Whereas with Vlade, yeah, if he can't play the 5, he's got to sit. You know what I mean? That's just my take on it. But yeah, I like this card. I think he's really solid. Let's see. I actually didn't show his size up. This is his size up, just a regular behind the back size up. But he does explode very quickly out of it with that Hall of Fame quick first step, which is again another option. If people up in your grill, you know, you get that size up going, and he's out of there. You know, he's really out of there. So I definitely like the way this card moves a lot. And the shot, it takes some getting used to, but it's very greenable. All right, so that's his quiz first. You see, he's superhuman speed out of the first, the triple threat. That's just superhuman. That's crazy. Another green. Very fast going the opposite direction too. So he's an ambidextrous triple threat player. A lot of players are really slow going the opposite direction, but Boogie has an elite triple threat. So I'm going to show a couple more triple threat moves just to round it off. But yeah, he's a legit triple threat card. Nice step back out of the triple threat. You get that ball back. And we see there in the green window. It's a nice step. Like, that's a gorgeous step back out of the triple threat. Especially for a card that can, like, momentum dribble. Boom. And you're out of there. Give me that. This Boogie card is filthy. I might play this card a little bit. I'm not even going to lie. His speed is so high. Like, he has such a high speed rating. If he had longer arms, I would consider this card probably elite if he had longer arms. But I just think his wingspan is gonna make some people go to like either taller or longer wingspan centers or something like that. Like I haven't played with this card in competition, but the Dino Raja is really special, and I would still put Dino ahead of this card. Like if I had to choose between playing the two, even though I think this card is probably better offensively than Dino. It's those long arms. The wingspan is so important in this game. You know what I mean? So that's that. All right, so let's look at his layups and dunk packages, and we'll look at his post-up moves and get out of here. That's actually a really nice big man layup package. See the other hand. Really ugly gather on that. So if you're going left, I'm going to go to the left hand again, see if we get another gather like that. Yeah, it's another bad layup. You see him going straight up in the air? So if you're going left and you don't think you can dunk with Boogie, definitely go to the right hand. definitely go to the right hand. You absolutely do not want to lay up with the left hand with this character. You're going to get some rough animations. That was forward on the stick going left, so that wasn't bad. So just don't go towards the left if you've got the ball in the left hand. You can go forward on the stick, you can go right on the stick. If you go left on the stick, don't get mad at the character. That's, you know, he told you not to do it. He has terrible layup package going to his left hand. All right, so let's look at his let's look at his Euro. Look at that real quick. Actually, not a bad Euro for a big guy. If they know it's coming, it'll get blocked. But if they're looking for the dunk, that might be a nice little change of pace. And that was his cradle. He didn't really cradle it. He kind of went straight up. All right, let's look at these dunk packages. So this is forward on the stick with the right hand. Solid. Boogie again, not much of a leaper, but not mad at the dunk package. And he didn't dunk at all that time. That was crazy. So he doesn't have a really far dunk trigger. Again, not an elite dunker of the basketball, but once you get into range, I mean, his hop dunks are good enough that once you get into range, you might want to rely on the hop dunks with this character. See, his flashy, actually solid flashy dunk. So you might also want to rely on his flashy dunks. Let's look at flashy with the ball in a strong hand. Big gather on that. So that would be another little knock I would say on this character. Whatever the stats say, he just doesn't have the dunk package. At least he doesn't appear to have the dunk package to be an elite dunker. Now, maybe in game, you guys will find that he performs better as a dunker. But I'm telling you guys right now, in terms of this breakdown, I would warn you against using this card as a straight up dunker. I think when you get into the lane, you definitely want to, you know, hop step, wait, go up later, stuff like that. You know, if you don't have a clean look at it, this guy isn't Galaxy Opal Shaq. He's not just going to bang on everybody. He's not, you know, Giannis or even Dino. I get a lot of great dunks with Dino, or Blake Griffin. He's another one, 6'10", just a monster of a card. He dunks everything. He's not going to be in that class of cards with as far as that goes, but he should be a capable finisher, right? So don't use him like an OP finisher, and you probably won't be disappointed if you use him within the limits of the card. All right, so let's go ahead and look at those. And I did not see baseline reverse dunks, by the way. I looked for him, couldn't find him. And quite frankly, if he doesn't do it after the first three, I mean, maybe it'll happen once in a while, but I'm, you know, giving you guys the info on the card. I'm definitely going to lean towards don't rely on his baseline dunks. If people have baseline dunk packages, they should only fail one out of every, you know, once in a while. Really nice post fade out of Boogie. I like that post fade. Yep, gorgeous post fade to the foul line. Doesn't create a ton of space, but it is very quick, which I'll take either one of the two. His post hop doesn't generate a lot of space. I don't know how much I love that. And that the post hop towards the free throw line look basically the same. Yeah, that's what I'm getting for the post hop for the free throw line. All right, and let's look at his spins and launches going to the basket. Again, these should all be very good. Boogie's always pretty good at this stuff. Looking good overall. So yeah, I think Boogie as a power forward probably ranks really high, because if they're trying to run like a, you know, certain smaller cards like a Durant or something like that, you might be able to bully him with this card on the one hand. And because he does have clamps, I mean, he only has a 79 lateral quickness, but you can obviously get that into the 80s with a shoe and higher up with a coach if you're more defensive oriented. And I think that's the situation where these defensive coaches can allow you to run some of these bigger, beefier lineups. I mean, he has a 94 3 ball, right? So you can't, a 97 3 ball, excuse me. So the coach isn't going to, you know, depending on the lineup you run, those 3-point boosts might not mean anything to you, you know? So, yeah. So I like him out of the post roll. He's looking really good out of post roll. So yeah, that's going to pretty much cut it for Boogie. Nice hook. Yeah, so Boogie, great post player. Great catch and shoot. I really like his jumper off the catch and shoot, but I think on the move, you want to take a little time to like get used to it. But I do think he's a good dribbler a good shooter off the peak once you get used to it. But it is a very low margin of error. So I would say if you get this card, definitely put in the time, because he's not Brandon Roy. You know what I'm saying? He's not gonna just make every shot. I think certain cards have really easy shots. He's not in that group with an easy shot, but once you get in the green window, he's very reliable. All right? So great dribbler for a big. Absolutely fantastic dribbler for a big. He can really move. You know, his shooters like step back and behind the back and stuff like that really make him shine. And I would say he has an above average momentum dribble as well. He has a very quick, very zigzaggy momentum dribble that if someone's guarding you on ball, you can definitely hit them with the boot bop and get them off you. Grab a clip, tag me in it. All right. So I got some people in the chat. Any thoughts on Walter Davis? Walter Davis will probably be either next or after I do Jack Sigma. I also wanted to do Fat Lever because no one's talking about that card, so I'm very curious about it. Oh, Bucci, I appreciate that. Would I like to do it on your account? Now, I'll tell you what, I've had a lot of trouble getting onto people's accounts on my PlayStation. I've gotten the sign-in error, so I would love to try. Hit me up on Twitter or on 2K Gamer, and we can try it. We can give it an attempt, but it's definitely been a struggle. Brandon Balls, what's up? Dope D. We got Daryl Dawkins working on Oakley. Cool. Yeah, I'm looking forward to grabbing both of those cards. Walter Davis will be coming up soon. And Carson Cruz says, man, I've ran into Opal T-Mac and PD T-Mac with that card several times. He holds his own against the Opal, but if Opal T-Mac takes you inside, kind of a mismatch, he's a little better than PD T-Mac. Yeah. But all right, guys, so that's going to cut it for Boogie Cousins. I think he's a super good card overall. He's got a lot to him, although I will say I do think that he's going to reward people who put more time into him because his shot just requires a little more maintenance than most people's shots, and he's not a brain-dead dunker, so you can't just do what you want from a dunking standpoint with Boogie. You definitely have to create the situation and capitalize off of it. But with his elite between the legs, his elite step back for a big guy, his above average momentum crossover, elite post moves, great hot zones, Boogie definitely has the tools to be a great addition to your lineup. And again, elite speed too. I think he had like a 94 speed or something. So yeah, he's got a lot going for him. If I had to choose between him and Vladi, I would definitely choose Boogie for sure, because as much as Vladi has a couple of things going for him, he's just not athletic enough and not great enough of a defender for me to and finisher for me to justify him at the center. All right, so hope this was informative for you guys. I will see you all in the next one. Please like and subscribe if you have not already. I'll see you next one. Peace.